Namaste. Good morning. Ram Ram, everyone. Nice to have you with me. Some of you were here yesterday and some new faces, so if some of you hear me say the same stuff all over again, it's okay, we need reminding of everything anyway, so we quickly forget. So a quick introduction about me. My name is Deepika, and I'm a senior yoga teacher in the Gitananda tradition. There's just 3 of our senior teachers in the UK, but I have with me assisting today Anandi there at the back. She's also a senior teacher from Cyprus. Flew in yesterday to help me. A bit louder? Can we turn it up? So if you see someone wandering around at the back, it's Anandi. She's giving you a wave. So I'm the co-founder of the Yoga Satsanga Ashram. That sounds really loud now. Is that too loud? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. I'm like, my voice. We're based in West Wales. We run lots of different courses. My personal passion is Pranayama. And just a little bit about today's session, just in case you're expecting, what is that? That's the generator, isn't it? We're not going to be sitting here just sort of huffing and puffing for an hour and a half, okay? We're going to be doing some asana, physical hatha yoga as well, because I'm going to be taking you through a sequence from the Gitananda tradition called the Hatha-inas, which is a lung opening, lung forcing techniques to open up the lungs so that we can properly practice pranayama, because we need to be breathing to more than 60% of our lung capacity to be able to practice pranayama properly. Mostly we don't breathe well anyway. So these are very specific techniques that I'll be showing you, unique to this tradition. And also, just on a personal note, I can tell you how well they've worked, because I grew up with severe breathing difficulties and severely asthmatic, and I was in and out of hospital like loads over my childhood, and on life support as well for some time, 3 days. And these techniques really completely and utterly changed my life. So I can really kind of speak from my heart on this. And I know I'm really passionate to kind of make people understand that if we don't breathe well, it affects our energy levels dramatically. It sounds really obvious, because if you think about the breath, if you don't breathe, let's go the other way. If you don't eat food, you can still live for 40 days or something. And if you don't drink water, I think we can survive for a week. And if you don't breathe, probably minutes at best. So it's kind of getting that idea that the life force is really coming in through the lungs. That's the catalyst, the medium of bringing our prana into our body. So I just want to kind of get that impressed upon you, because I have a really strong memory as a child when I had breathing difficulties. So I would walk from one end of the room to another, and my body was perfectly fine, just the lungs. And I would be at the other end of the room, exhausted, just like Darth Vader. And just really exhausted. You just can't do very much. You just have to sleep a lot. And there's a lot of that today, isn't there? There's a lot of people with exhaustion, adrenal fatigue and whatever. And I feel like, personally, if people learn how to breathe properly and open up the lungs, that's going to send the prana around the rest of the body, and that's really going to improve our vitality and energy levels. And I've had people come and do some pranayama with me who've had problems with fatigue, and they've really had huge dramatic changes. So I really believe energetic levels are opened up so much through proper breathing. And then once we learn to breathe properly, we can practice pranayama. So that's the difference between breath work pranayama. Pranayama is actually working with the prana, the energy flows in and around the body. But we can't access that, I'm just going to keep repeating myself, until we breathe properly. So that is breathing into all parts of our lungs. And we talk about the lower lobes, the middle section, and the upper lobes of the lungs. So I'm going to talk about this as we go through the practice. And once we've opened up our lungs, then we'll do some pranayama, and hopefully you'll feel and understand how different that is to breath work or trying to do pranayama without opening up the lungs first. So yeah, I hope that was a bit of an explanation. So let's just start. We're going to do a little bit of warm-ups first, but we'll just sit quietly for a moment. Let's just draw the mind in, close the eyes if that's comfortable, scan through your body with your mind's eye, and just lift up through your spine, lift and lengthen up, and just drop your shoulders, relax through the arms, open gently across the chest. And now watch your breath. Just notice now how you're breathing naturally. And then we start to bring the conscious control, conscious awareness to our breath. I'm going to use a 6 count in and the equal 6 count out, Sukha rhythm. We're going to breathe together, so breathe out to start. Breathe in through the nose and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In lower, mid and upper lobes of the lungs. Exhaling, same order, lower, mid, upper lobes. In, out, in, out, in, out, in lower, mid, upper lobes, out, lower, mid, upper. Just keep going on your own, a couple more rounds. Really try to increase the awareness of your lungs. Where the mind goes, the prana flows. Keep the mind in your body. Also try to become aware of the front, side and the back of your lungs. We inhale the front, side, back, and we exhale from the back, then the side and then the front. Let's take another deep breath. And let's gently bring the palms to the heart. I'm just going to chant Guru and Ganesh Gayatri. Ganesha Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahe Tanno Dantehi Prachodayate Om Tatparam Bharyaya Vidmahe Jnana Lingeshwaraya Dhimahe Tanno Guru Prachodayate Om Yoga Maharishi Dr. Swami Gitananda Giri Guru Maharaj Ki Deep. And just take a deep breath here. And just whoosh out through the mouth or sigh out. And rub your palms. Let's get some heat, energy into your hands. And let's cup the eyes and just look into your palms. Look up, down, left, right. And again with the palms. Cup the eyes. Let's circle your eyes one way and the other. Blink. And then just sweep over your head, neck, and squeeze down your shoulders, arms, fingertips. And shake. Okay, so we're going to do a few warm-ups, jatis we call them. Quite big into our jatis in this tradition, so stretch out your legs, give a little bounce, wiggle your toes, and breathe deep, and let's roll the ankles. Keep breathing, feel like, and other way. You can flex one foot forward, one back. Keep breathing deep. If you can keep that 6 in, 6 out count going, that's great. Let's bounce our legs open and closed a few times. Let's have the heels toward the edge of your mat and just breathe in, roll your toes in, and breathe out, roll your toes out. And just do a few rounds. And then circle here. Both ways. Back to center. And we're going to breathe in, draw the toes back. And breathe out, push away. So keep going. Moving with the breath. Lovely. And now we're going to lift one knee and the other. Alternate. Let's bring our knees out to the side, opening a bit more around the pelvis. To the front. Catch your right leg and roll the ankle. And breathe. I'm just listening and I'm like, you stop breathing again. Keep breathing deep. And into the knee. Nice deep breaths. We learn to concentrate and breathe deeply at the same time. Let's catch the foot and the knee, rock side to side. If you like, you can bring the foot into the elbow, wrap the arms around, rock. Catch the foot, right hand, right foot, extend the leg and gently swing. Just watch your neighbours swing side to side. Keep that spine lifted up. Great, let's hold your leg open and look to the left. Take a nice deep breath. And we cross the leg over. Let's switch hands and bring your right hand behind you. Just gentle twist, look over your right shoulder. Deep breath. Gently release and bounce. Catch your left leg. Flex the foot, roll the ankle, breathe, and into the knee. Lovely. Just catch your foot and knee, rock side to side. Let's Oh, I think you just changed them actually. No? Okay, little technical hitch. Yep, and we're back. Let's hold the leg open, look to the right, take a breath there. Take 2 breaths, and then we switch. Bring the leg across, switch your hands and look over the left shoulder. Nice deep breaths. And release. Lovely. Bounce. Let's just bounce the legs open, quite wide if you've got the space around you. And just tap inside your thighs. Go down the inside of the legs, up the outside, down the top of the legs. And then just bring your palms in front floor, and you're going to breathe in, lift up through your spine, and just breathe out, draw the elbows down to the mat or toward the mat. And again, breathe in, lift up, out, elbows toward the mat. Lovely. In, out. Great. Let's hold here for a breath. Nice deep breath. And gently release. Just bounce your legs back together. Let's bring our feet together, Baddha Kona Kriya. Bounce down with the knees. And then let's just hold here for a breath. Draw the knees toward the mat, Baddha Kona Asana. Breathe, nice deep breaths. Now release, going to cross the legs and we'll just do a few circles. And the other way. Let's lift up. Now drop the right forearm down and stretch over with the left arm. Nice deep breath here and just lengthen and stretch through the left side. Lovely, release, and left forearm down, stretch over. Just breathe and feel opening across the right side. And release, lovely. Bring both hands behind you, lift up with the chest, head back. Take a deep breath, gently bending back. Breathe out, release, and then stretch the hands as far forward as you can and take a breath here. Gently lift up and let's roll our shoulders one way and the other into our elbows. Make sure you're still breathing deep into the wrists. Let's flex the hands up and down, side to side. Open and close the hands. Just go a little bit faster. Just breathe. Shake. I'm going to do a clean and a cleanse of our space, energetic cleansing. Clean up, clear out toxins, tiredness, tension, whatever's going on you don't need today. Deep breath in. Whoosh it out. Again, clean, cleanse. Deep breath in. And one more. Last chance. Clean, cleanse. Breathe in. It's lovely. Release. Just take a breath. And let's bring the chin to the right shoulder. Now breathe in, lift the chin up. And breathe out, release back to the shoulder. Again, in, lift. Out. In. Out. To the left shoulder. Breathe in, lift. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Chin to top of your chest. Breathe in, lift up to the sky. Out, release. In, lift. Out. In. Out. Back to center. You're just going to tap the fingertips. We're going to release any tension from the face. Tap your forehead. Breathing out tensions you might be holding. Tapping the temples, either side of your eyes. Breathe out tension. You might find this a typical place of gathering tension. We'll go around the eyes, gently along the eyebrows and under the eyes, circling. Cheeks. Around the mouth. And then up and down the jaw, especially top of the jaw. Let your jaw hang loose, relaxed. Top of the jaw is often holding tension. Ears, so quite firmly tugging around the ears. Got these acupressure points around the ears. And then top of the head. Tap. Wake up the brain. Get thinking. And then around the back, your scalp, neck, along the top of your shoulders. Breathing deep, chest. Oops. Down to your abdominal area. Lower back. Go down one arm, palms, and up the other side. Chest, deep breath. And then down the other arm. Back up. And then we're going to do freestyle tapping, just activating, waking up the body wherever you need. And then rub the palms. And then just sweep through the face, head, shoulders, arms, legs. Great. Now we're going to have some water because we need to be hydrated, number one, and we especially need to be hydrated for pranayama. And when you've had a drink of water, we're going to start crawling around our mat, Chatuspada Kriya, one of our staple practices in our tradition. Chatuspada Kriya, crawling around, consciously crawling, breathing deep. Come to the center of the mat and push back to our Shashanka. Relax, forehead on the mat. Shashanka asana. I do use the traditional names for these postures. So some of them might have different names. And then just gently lift the head, stretch your hands forward. Breathing, come forward to our Bhujanga Cobra. And now hiss out, push back to the heels. 2 more. Breathe in as you come forward. Hiss out to the heels. In. And relax. And gently you can lift up. So we're going to start the Hathena sequence for the opening of the lungs. So we start off with a Mukha, which is a deep breath in through the nose, and then we blast out through the mouth, emptying out any stale air from the lungs. I feel like I'm not at a good angle here for everyone to see me. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate one round and then you copy. So just remember here, we're blasting the breath out. We bring the head to the mat. We pull back the abdomen as you blast the breath out through the mouth. By the time the head is on the mat, the lungs should be empty. There's nothing left. And you're not breathing in at all while you take the head down. Okay, so try and listen. So. Then I lift the head, breathe in, and we repeat 3 times. Okay, so let's have a go together. Let's breathe out to start. Deep. Sorry, some. So it's. So. Got it? Taki mudra. This is called the crow's beak. Yeah, let's have a go. Okay, deep breath in, fill your lungs. And then you breathe in, lift up. And one more round, in as you lift. And blast out, head to the mat. Great. Hold there, catch the feet, Dharmakasana. Head to the knees, toward the knees. Just take a couple of breaths here. Dharmakasana, devotional pose. And then you lift your chin first and breathe in, lift up. And then take the hands back and we just balance that with a gentle back bend. Lift up with the chest, drop the head back and take a deep breath here. Lovely. And gently release. Great. Please sip water whenever you need. Okay, so our first work will be working on the lower lobes of the lungs. So we're going to start by really bringing our awareness to the lower lobes, and then we'll do the posture that we use to force the air into these lower lobes. We're going to use Sparsha Mudra. Sparsha Mudra is the flat palm, fingers together, thumb also next to the hand. Sparsha Mudra on the front lower lobes of the lungs. We ideally want to stay in the Vajrasana on the heels because this helps us lift up through the spine. But if that's not comfortable, you can sit cross-legged, but please be conscious of keeping the spine lengthened up. Your little finger is more or less touching the last rib, okay? So front lower lobes. Fingertips are almost touching. As you breathe out, the fingertips will draw together. And as you breathe in, they'll draw apart, open up. Let's do 3 rounds of breath here together. So breathe out to start. Keep the mind behind the palms. In. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. out. Lovely. Now take your Sparsha Mudra to the side of these lower lobes. Let's feel behind the palms here, sides of your lower lobes. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Great. Now take it to the back of your lower lobes. The lungs go slightly up here. Breathe out. Yep. And in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Perfect. Release your hands. Just take a breath and try to hold your awareness now into the lower lobes of the lungs, the front, side and back. We're going to practice 3 variations of the Ustra asana, the camel posture, which helps us open up the lower lobes. So I'm going to demonstrate our first Ustra, which is opening up around the front of the lower lobes. We breathe out to start. Just watch. We're going to breathe in, lift up. Keep breathing in at the peak of the back bend, forcing the air here, and breathe out, release. We'll do that 3 times together, okay? So breathe out to start. Breathe in, lift up. If you need to support your back, you can. Out, release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feel into the front lower lobes. In. Out. Lovely. One more. In. And out. You might feel resistance, like the breath is not going down there at the peak of your back bend, but it will. You just have to keep going at it. Okay, we're going to work now with the side of the lower lobes. Our second Ustra, we bring the fingertips toward the toes, and I'll demonstrate one if you like. We breathe in, lift up, bend back, feeling into the lower lobes, and breathe out, release. So let's try 3 of them together. Breathe out, and breathe in, out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold the awareness, lower lobes. In, out. One more. In, and out. Great. Take a breath. Feel inside. If you want to release your ankles, please do come forward and give them a shake and a wiggle and have a sip of water. So the next one can be quite challenging, so if you just need to repeat one of the previous variations, that's okay. So it's our full Ustra, camel, and we're going to perform the Nasaga Mukha Bhastrika here. So Nasaga is the nose, Mukha the mouth, Bhastrika the blasting breath. So I'm going to come into the camel Ustra and I'm going to be pumping the lower lobes with the in through the nose and out through the mouth. So I'll just show you in the posture. We lift up. And from here, and that actually helps us reach into the back of the lower lobes. Okay, you might feel dizzy. If you do feel dizzy, just bring your head down to the mat and take a rest there. So let's have a go together. You can use your foot variation with the toes tucked under if you need, or just repeat one of the last variations and try the Bhastrika from there. So breathe out to start, and then we breathe in, lift up, drop back, breathe out, and then Mukha Bhastrika. Going to release. Maximum 6 rounds, back to the heels, and just take a breath. If you do feel dizzy, please bring the head to the mat and take a few breaths. And smile. Okay, let's have a go. We'll do 2 more rounds. So when you're ready, let's lift up, drop back. Release. Sit back in your Vajrasana. Take a breath. Lovely. And let's do 1 more round when you're ready. Lift up. Back into your Ustra, camel. And really pump those lower lobes. Lovely. Release. And we are all going to bring the head to the mat now, just to release the spine. Hands back toward the feet. And gently lift up. Might feel the lower lobes of the lungs feel a bit more open. So now we're going to practice a posture that helps us direct the airflow into the lower lobes of the lungs. A Shasha Asana, rabbit. So we're going to bring the elbows to the knees, palms down, lift up with your chin. And this will help us direct the flow of air into the lower lobes of the lungs. Keep that chin lifted up. Focus the mind into the lower lobes of your lungs and breathe out. Deep breath in, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, out, in, out. Just drop the head, relax the neck a moment. And gently lift up. And if you want to release your ankles, let's give them a little shake again. You may start coughing quite a bit with these practices. That's normal at the beginning. So now we're going to move up to work on the midsection of the lungs, intercostal region. So again, let's sit in our Vajrasana unless you just can't stand it anymore. And then you can come into cross-legged. Sparsha Mudra again, flat palms. And we're going to bring the palms now onto the front midsection of the lungs. Slightly more awkward for ladies, but what can we do? So just try and feel now behind your palms. So we're covering the heart here as well. Breathe out to start. Breathe in. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Now move your Sparsha Mudra to the side of the midsection, so higher up, bit of a stretch. Breathe out, breathe in, feel behind the palms. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, out, in, out. Now the back, the mid lobes, getting a bit of a stretch here. It's a bit higher up your back. Breathe out and deep breath in, out, in, out, in, out, and release. Give the hands a wrist a shake. Lovely. Now stretch out the legs. So the postures that we use for opening and forcing the air into the midsection of the lungs, it's a Matsyasana, which is the fish postures. So again, we have 3 variations, drawing the air into the front, then the side, and then the back of the lungs. So first variation, legs are together. We're going to drop the elbows back and just lift up with the chest and let the head hang back, or dangle back here. And focus into the front mid-section of your lungs. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here together. Breathe out. Keep lifting the mid-chest. And breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Now release back to lie on the mat. Push on the elbows and lie back on your mat, and now roll the head. We're going to release any tension from the neck. You could try breathing to the right, roll the head to the right on your inhale, and breathe out, roll it to the left. Just do a few rounds. And then we move on to our second Matsyasana variation, working on expanding and stretching and opening the side of the mid-intercostal region of your chest. So this time, keep the legs straight again, push up on the elbows and bring the top of the head onto the mat, and you can bring the palms on the top of the pelvis. And again, lift and open with the mid-chest. So we'll come into that posture and we'll do 3 rounds together. Again, you can always just repeat the last if that's not comfortable for you. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Out. Focus into the lungs. In. Out. In, out. Now push on your elbows, release the head to the mat, and again roll the head. Ease out your neck. Just relax for a breath. So our third Matsyasana. So this time we're going to lift up and we want to cross the legs because we want to create a lock of the lower half of the body to increase the circulation energetically into the upper half of the body. So if you can, you're going to come into your Padmasana, lotus, otherwise Ardha Padma, half lotus, or just simple cross-legged Sukhasana. Then again we drop back, bring the top of the head onto the mat, catch the feet if you are in your Padmasana, and we'll take 3 deep breaths here, focusing into the midsection. So choose whatever works for you and drop back. And again, really bring the mind now into the back of the midsection of the lungs. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Now again, push on the elbows and release the head back to the mat, and then just unlock the legs, stretch out your legs, and let's roll the head again. Ease out any neck tension. Just take a breath, relax. And you're going to slowly lift up to sitting, to seated. And we're going to come back to our Vajrasana to perform our Shasha, rabbit, to draw the air into the midsection of the lungs. So here, we bring the wrists to the knees and lift up through your spine, lift your chin up and focus now. Remember, where the mind goes, the prana flows. Focus into this midsection. Breathe out. Deep breath in. Out. In and out through the nose. In. Out. In. Out. And drop the head again, release, relax the neck. And slowly lift up. Let's have a sip of water. Keep hydrated. Okay, so next I'm going to come up to the upper lobes of the lungs. This is where we have the stale, residual, trapped air. We don't tend to reach into this part of the lungs. So we don't tend to breathe fully. So we have a lot of kind of trapped air around here. So we're going to bring our Sparsha Mudra to over the kind of collarbone area. And this is the hardest part to feel, so don't be surprised if you don't feel a lot of movement there, but we want to get that going. So breathe out to start. Deep breath in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. release. Then we go to the side of the upper lobes, which is behind the armpits, but we don't want to put our hands in the armpits. So for this particular one, we just bring the hands to the hips and try to really feel with your mind now behind the armpits area. You can imagine the air is getting sucked in and out through the armpits. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Lovely. Now we're going to go to the back of the upper lobes of the lungs. So over the kind of shoulder blades area. Try and feel the movement now behind the palms. Breathe out. Breathing in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Slowly release. Have a little shake. Okay, so the postures we're going to use to cleanse and open the upper lobes is, the first one is called Mahamudra. So I'll demonstrate. It's a little bit tricky to get the hang of. So I'm going to breathe in here. Then I'm going to breathe out and bring the head to the mat. So I fully exhale and I hold the exhale. I'm not breathing in. So on the exhale, I'm now going to pump and lift the arms. Then I release and lift. So only then I'm breathing in. If you heard the sound there, that's the stale residual air getting pumped out. Okay, I'm not breathed in until I lift up. Okay, so let's have a go. So come into your Vajrasana again. I'm so sorry. So breathe out. Now deep breath in, fill the lungs. And breathe out, head to the mat. When you fully exhale, start lifting the arms. Then when you need to breathe in, lift chin, chest, breathe in. Sit up. And we repeat, breathe out, head to the mat. Pump the arms. Release your arms and breathe in as you lift. And one more round, breathe out, head to the mat. Pump the arms, pumping out that residual air. And then lift, breathe in. And take a breath. You might want to release your ankles. You can come forward, shake, roll, circle, bounce. So our next posture is almost the same as the one we just did. I'll demonstrate just a slight change here. We breathe in, breathe out, head to the mat. This time we clasp the arms, the hands. And release and breathe in. Let's do 3 rounds of that. So deep breath in, breathe out, head to the mat. When you fully exhaled, clasp the hands and pump and lift the arms. And then breathe in as you lift. Lovely. 2 more. Out. Come forward. Pump. Release and lift. Breathe in. And then last round, out. Pump. And when you need to breathe in, you lift up. Lovely. And take a breath. So our next posture is called Nikunja Asana. So I'll demonstrate. We come to all fours and we drop the elbows to the side, and if we can, we're going to bring the chest forward to touch the mat, and then we take 3 deep breaths here with the head to one side, and this creates a type of drainage of the lungs. So if you can't get the chest down, don't worry, as long as our bottom is a lot higher and there's a kind of downward flow with the lungs. So focus into the upper lobes of your lungs. So yeah, hands are just on top of each other, head to one side, breathe out to start. And deep breath in, feel the upper lobes. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Now push through your arms and just relax back in your Shashanka, back to the heels, forehead on the mat. Take a couple of breaths. If you want to lift up and release and relax the legs, give them a bounce, a shake. Okay, so we come on to our complete breathing now. Mahat Yoga Pranayama. Mahat, the great yogic breath. How we should be trying to breathe all the time. So let's just try our Sparsha Mudra now. Bring one hand on the lower lobes of your lungs. The other hand can kind of be covering the mid and the upper lobes. Okay? And we're going to try and feel behind the palms the flow of the breath as it draws into the lower, then mid, then upper lobes. So think about the diaphragm, the movement of the diaphragm. You breathe in and the diaphragm is drawn down and it pulls the air into the lower, then mid, then the upper lobes. On your exhale, the diaphragm recoils, pushes up and empties the lungs, lower, then mid, then upper. Breathe out. Feel the movement behind your palms. In. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. And release. Have a little shake. Just want us to feel as well the movement that goes from the front, side and back. So we're just going to bring the palms to the lower lobes and we're going to actually move the palms from the front, side, back on the inhale and then back, because it empties then from the back, side and then the front on the exhale. This takes a little bit of getting used to. So breathe out here. I'll just lift up so you can see. We breathe in, front, side, back, exhale, back, keep at the back, side, then the front. Okay, in, front, side, back, exhale from the back, side, then the front. One more. Feel inside. In, front, side, back, exhale, back, side, front. Let's come up to the mid-chest now. We'll repeat the same. Breathe out. Breathe into the front, side, back. Exhale, the back, side, then the front. Again, in, front, side, back, out, back, side, front. Excellent. One more. Front, side, back, and empty, the back, side, front. Upper lobes. We're just going to go over the shoulders here. Breathe out into the front, side, we kind of skip, and then over to the back. Empty from the back, then the side and the front. In, front, side, back, empty, back, side, front. One more round. Front, side, back, back, side, front. Wonderful. Release. Shake. Have some water. So we have one more short sequence of postures for our complete breathing. These postures help us breathe equally into all parts of our lungs. So our first one is the Sharabha Kriya, which is an Indian-style griffin, mythical creature. So we come to all fours, Chatuspada, and we're going to be lifting each leg, alternating. So breathe out to start. Breathe in, lift your right leg, lift the head, stimulating the right side, the right lung. Breathe out, release the knee gently back to the mat, drop the head. Left leg, breathe in, lift the head. Out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, right. Out. Left, in. Out. Right, in. Out. And left, in. Out. Just take a breath here. Our next one is almost the same. We're going to be bringing the knee to the forehead on the exhale. This really helps empty out the lungs. Breathe out to start. Now right leg, breathe in, lift the head. Breathe out, knee to forehead or toward the forehead. Empty. In, lift. Out. In. Out. Release and take a breath. Left leg, breathe in, lift. Lovely, out, knee to forehead. In. Out. In. Out. Let's take a breath, release the knee. You might want to release your wrists. You can just drop the elbows a moment and shake out your hands and wrists. And then we come back to Chatuspada, all fours, and we're going to finish off with our Vyagraha Pranayama, tiger breathing. So we breathe out to start. Breathe in as you dip the spine, filling the lower, mid, upper lobes, lift the head. Breathe out as you arch up, empty, lower, mid, upper lobes. Drop the head, draw back the abdomen, gently push through the arms. Breathe in, drop the spine. Filling the lungs, lift the head. Out, arch up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. 3 more rounds. In, lower, mid, upper. Out, lower, mid, upper. In the front, side, back. Empty the back, side, front. In. And out. And we can push back briefly to our Shashanka. Just relax a moment. Let go. And then you can lift up, have some water. Okay, so we've opened up all parts of our lungs now, so we can begin the practice of pranayama. So we're going to again come back to our sectional breathing, but we're going to use our hasta mudras, hand gestures. So for the lower lobes of the lungs, we use a chin mudra. Chin mudra is the thumb and the first finger together. The other 3 fingers are straight, and make sure they're together. So circle, and then the other 3 fingers together. Lovely. And you put them face down on top of your thighs. So they're kind of like that, yeah? Face down on top of the thighs, and this is going to connect all the different nadis. We have 72,000 to help the air to predominantly breathe into the lower lobes of your lungs. So focus into the lower lobes, breathe out. Deep breath in, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, out, in, out. Just take a breath here now, relax, but hold the mudra. I'm going to now introduce some nada sound. So here for the lower lobes we use the sound ah on the exhale. So we're going to breathe in on a count of 6. We're going to exhale ah for 3 times that if you can, a count of 18. So let's have a go. Focus on the sound if you find it a bit too strenuous, that makes it a lot easier. So breathe out to start. Deep breath in. 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 Excellent. And release your mudra. Take a breath. Just observe inside a moment the vibration, the openness around the lower lobes of your lungs. We're going to come up to the midsection. Here the mudra is Chinmaya mudra. So as before, but you roll the 3 fingers into the palm this time. Okay, so the last one was here, roll the 3 fingers into the palm, and again, on top of the thighs, Chinmaya mudra, focus into the midsection. We'll take 3 breaths. Breathe out. In. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Just take a breath, hold the mudra. This time the sound for the mid chest is ooh. So again we'll breathe in on a 6 and ooh for a 18. Breathe out to start. Deep breath in. 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 Release your mudra and take a breath. Just observe for a moment. And if you want to relax your ankles, you can come forward and give them a little shake, circle. I'm going to come up to the upper lobes, and the mudra for the upper lobes is called Adi mudra. So Adi mudra, thumb is inside the palms, and we wrap the fingers around the thumb. Okay, Adi mudra. On top of the thighs, face down. Yep, quite close to your pelvis, not too far toward the knees. Adi mudra. Focus into the upper lobes of your lungs. Breathe out. Breathe in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In. Out. In. Out. Just take a breath now, hold your mudra. You sound, the nada for the upper lobes is like a humming. Breathe out to start. Deep breath in. 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 Take a breath, release your mudra. Observe, feel inside. And our final, for the complete breathing, we use our Brahma mudra. So, as we just did, thumb inside, fingers around, but this time we unite, join the fists together, knuckles are touching, and we bring that mudra around the level of your navel, belly button area. Yep. So your thumbs are facing forward, thumb is inside. Lovely. So this, now visualize breathing equally into all three parts. So we would count 1, 2, lower lobes, 3, 4, mid, 5, 6, upper lobes. So breathe out. And in. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In, out, lower, mid, upper. In, out. Just take a breath, hold your mudra. Now we connect all three sounds, the R, U, to chant our complete Aum, Om, Pranava Om, the sound vibration of the universe. Was there before we existed, is there now, and will still be there after our existence. So we breathe in on a count of 6, lower, mid, upper lobes, and we exhale R for a 6, U for a 6, for a 6. Breathe out to start. Breathe in. 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 Release your mudra and just take a breath. Just observe, feel inside. Pranava Om, sacred sound. And now we will practice again our Mukha Bhastrika, because we have stirred up toxins through these practices. So we finish or close our practice off again with our Mukha Bhastrika, cleansing out the lungs. So we breathe in here. You can do whenever you're ready. 3 rounds in your own time. We're going to hold in our Dharmakasana after the 3rd round, catching your feet, head toward the knees. And then you will gently lift up and just balance with a gentle back bend, hands back. Lift the chest, and then we're going to organise our mat for a little bit of Shavasana time. So in our tradition we like to have our head to the north, which is that way, and feet to the south, because we want to be in line with the polar energies of the earth. So we are a small magnet within a large magnet. So I'm going to get you all to shuffle around, because we are a tantric tradition, which means that energies are important to us, directions and all that stuff. And then lie yourself down, lie back in your Shavasana. Get yourself comfortable. So Shavasana, again here, the correct posture for the Shavasana is heels together, unless that's really not comfortable for you. Heels together, again, this helps us keep the energy in. We're energy conserving tradition. We want to conserve and draw the energy in at every opportunity. We don't want to let our waste energy out. Palms alongside your hips, facing up. Body nice and symmetrically placed. And we're just going to come back to our breath just for a minute or two, and then we're going to completely let go and relax. So let's again bring our mind into the lungs, a 3-part breath. Actually the 18-part breath, as we have 9 sections on each side of the lungs, the right and the left. And we're going to do just 9 rounds of a Savitri Pranayama. Savitri Pranayama works on the nervous system, the 6-3-6-3 count. We're going to breathe in on a 6, we'll hold the breath in for a 3, breathe out on a 6, and we'll hold out for a 3. So follow if it's comfortable. This really helps us activate the parasympathetic nervous system and works on our emotional level. Breathe out to start. Breathe into all parts of your lungs. In. And hold. 2, 3. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3. In. Hold. Out. Hold. In. hold, in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold. Keep going now on your own, or just completely let go any practice and just deeply relax. Nice and gently, we're going to bring our awareness back. Let's start to take a few deep, long breaths. Bring yourself back. Breathe deep. Start to gently wiggle the fingers, the toes, roll the head. Start to stretch out with your legs and arms. You can draw the knees up to the chest and start to rock gently side to side, easing out the spine. And then just flop over onto the left side of your body and just relax there for a few breaths. We like to spend a lot longer in our Shavasana, but we've got a bit of a time constraint. Just take a few breaths here. And nice and gently lift up into a comfortable sitting position. Just going to chant a mantra to finish. Om. Loka samasta sukhinu bhavantu sarve janaha sukhinu bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Let's give the palms a rub. Cup the eyes, blink into the palms, and then sweep. Namaste everyone, thank you for joining me for practice.